Welcome back, Chicago. You're listening to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. You can download podcasts on my website, shalomklein.com. We are powered by our good friends at Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them online, tandemhr.com, or give them a call, 630-928-0510. And this is a live episode of Get Down to Business. You could call us with your questions at 312-642-5600. So I'm joined here in studio by Gayle Norton, the managing partner of Black Rhino Recruiting. Gayle, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Shalom.
Absolutely. So we just finished a fantastic discussion with Buzz Ruttenberg and heard a little bit of the story of his business. And I'm always fascinated to learn the story of successful entrepreneurs and hear why in the world you decided to go into business. And of course, we want to hear a little bit about what you do. But tell us your the history of Black Rhino.
So Black Rhino Recruiting Solutions is a newer firm. I've been doing this for quite a while, but Black Rhino is, as I said, new. And we are a family. Black Rhino is actually a family of companies. There's a Black Rhino Financial Group, and now there's Black Rhino Recruiting Solutions, and then we'll have others, Black Rhino Legal and other companies to come.
Lots of Black Rhinos running around.
Lots of Black Rhinos running around, yeah. The concept is to have one place where clients can go and have a variety of selection of services.
Fantastic. So how long have you been in the recruiting space?
I have been in talent acquisition / recruiting for over 10 years now, but I wasn't always in the HR recruiting space. I'm actually, my background, I'm a nurse going forward. Yeah.
Fascinating.
So this is my fourth career, I think. But so I went from nursing, then I went into business, working for a pharmaceutical company. I ran the central area of the country for a pharma company. Then I left that and went into consulting. I was originally the VP of sales for a small consulting firm, and then got out with the clients and started doing operational consulting, new product launches, managed engineers, did things like that. So, and then one day one of the clients called and said, I am having to move from one technology to another. This was in talent acquisition, and I don't know how to do it. I don't have anyone to do it. Can you do it for me? And so that was my entree into talent acquisition, and I've been there ever since.
Well, I have heard from some of my friends that are in HR and staffing, and I have heard that they that some things that happen provides chest pain. So it's nice to know that there's a nurse around and available just in case there are health issues that arise. So very, very interesting. And now you are a managing partner of a firm. It sounds like a growing operation. Let's talk about the business side of things first. Same question that I asked Buzz earlier. What lessons have you learned? What things do you wish you knew in running an operation, running a business that now perhaps you've learned just by trial and error?
I think the biggest thing is to always network and always be talking to a variety of people. Certainly, I do that now. I do that a lot. I do a lot of networking just in general. But I think it expands your horizons. It expands your capabilities. It does all kinds of things. And I think from an entrepreneurial standpoint, one of the lessons or biggest lesson learned is you may not always end up where you started. So look at what your skill set is and then adapt that to look how you can adapt that to other businesses too. I've had a lot of questions from people saying, I'm not sure what to do next. But if you take your management capabilities, for example, and then move that over, that's how I got to this place where I am in running this business.
And it sounds like you have to be willing to, you just use the term adapt, but innovate and embrace the idea that things change. And just because something worked a few years ago doesn't mean it's going to be the same model and you can continue doing the same thing again and again and again.
That's
It sounds
true.
like you've learned that hands-on.
Yes, very much so. And in fact, Black Rhino Recruiting Solutions is not just a recruiting. That's not the only thing we do. Certainly, we are experts in talent acquisition. We're really a management consulting professional services firm specializing in talent acquisition. We are experts in talent acquisition, and we help companies. We work with corporations, and we help them solve recruiting challenges, whether it's finding the people for them or working with them to make their internal talent acquisition capabilities better.
That's interesting. So you're taking a complete consultative approach and trying to work with your clients on figuring out where the pain point is and where the need is. which is certainly very important. So you mentioned that Black Rhino, there's now a family of companies. Tell us, let's talk more specifically about what you're hearing in terms of where the needs are currently in the economy. We continued, the jobs report just came out the other day, and it was a positive jobs report for a change, which welcome news. But what are you hearing? What are you seeing from the companies that you're working with?
The biggest area of need seems to be in technology, and I think that will continue to grow. Technology, we do a lot of work in healthcare and technology, financial services, professional services, and also manufacturing. But from the technology standpoint, whether it's just new startup companies that are growing and need the technological capabilities of software developers and things like that, that's big. And in the healthcare space, it's also big in the electronic medical records section.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So a lot of technology and that obviously growing sectors, and it sounds like a continued growing need for talent. Let me ask you a very, I guess, a blunt question. They say that age discrimination exists. Technology is typically associated with younger people. I know a number of folks that may have been working in companies in the past and have the skill set, the know-how, perhaps better than some of the young kids coming straight out of college. Are they being given a fair shot at those technology positions?
I would have to say it depends on the company, and it depends on the job that's open too. You know, if it's an entry level job, they're certainly not. You know, they have much more experience than that. It's a matter of really finding out where their best fit is and helping get them there.
And it sounds like that's the type of work that you are doing in working with the companies in trying to find the right person for the right role. But it sounds like also taking the people that you're working with and finding the right role for them as well.
Very much so, and that's where the consultative aspect comes in. It's looking at how to help both sides. It's certainly, you know, consulting with the companies to help them see, you know, what the best fit would be, and presenting. So the recruiters, I have recruiters that work for me, and what the recruiters will do is they go after passive candidates. They don't just go to, certainly not just to job boards or anything like that. They really are very experienced recruiters. I only use experienced recruiters. So I would say average 10 years of experience. That's one of my differentiators between the consultative approach and the use of only experienced recruiters. That way, the ramp-up time is very short for when we start on a project.
Well, we're going to talk more about job boards with our next guest, Linda Nichols. We're going to talk a little bit about job boards and some of those terms that you just threw out there. So we'll continue that conversation. But technology is fascinating, and using that term that we talked about before, adapting and innovating, technology continues to evolve. So how have your recruiters that have a decade plus of experience, how have they been able to learn more about the changes in the industry's electronic medical records, for one, software development? How have you, as a team of consultants, as a team of recruiters, been able to continue to adapt?
Well, there are a number of ways. First of all, they certainly keep up with continuing education to make sure that they are on top of things. Additionally, just working with the companies and understanding the different positions that are available and how they can, what the differences are, and how they can help in that way as well. So there are a number of ways that they're always looking at new ways. Additionally, they also look for new places to go and find the candidates too.
Absolutely. So you practice what you preach, which is really important, and it sounds like you have a number of very, very happy clients, and you have established yourself in a number of industries, and certainly that healthcare background certainly does help when stress reaches new heights. So Gayle Norton of Black Rhino, well, the Black Rhino family of companies, we appreciate you coming on and get down to business. Gayle, we're just about out of time. I want to make sure our listeners can find you in case they want to talk about your services, talk about the lessons that you've learned along the way. How can people get a hold of you?
You can reach me on our website at www.blackrhinorecruiting.com, or you can also reach me directly at 847-274-3663.
Fantastic. Well, Gayle Norton, thank you so much for joining us on Get Down to Business. After the break, I have Linda Nichols here, who's actually going to expand on some of those topics, talk a little bit more about the job boards, and define perhaps some of the terminology that's thrown around in the world of jobs and hiring. And I know that it's complicated, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. You're listening to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. We've got a lot more for you after this quick break.